So I want to say what the main reason I'm doing this channel, and it's pretty much to get my message out there. I know it's very difficult to talk to certain people or just talk to people in general about what's going on in the world and just some of the thoughts you have, whether it's spiritual or it's things that people are not wanting to talk about because it affects them emotionally, and it's difficult for them to have a conversation even with family at times, right? So I'm just really doing this channel to speak my mind and honestly say some of the things I want to say. Not only that, there's, you know, I understand there's a level of tolerance that people have when somebody, you know, is just trying to express themselves, I would say, you know, and what they believe in the world and their philosophies. And sometimes there's not alignment, I would say, because I think there are times where somebody wants to hear these things. It's because they're in alignment of the same vibration that I'm resonating at, right? So I get that, you know, and I'm really starting to understand that even more so today. But basically, I really want to not show, but I don't really care what people think, but I want to kind of come off as a person that really genuinely just wants to put out some good information out there into the world and help people, right? I'm not doing this for to be like a YouTube influencer and make a lot of money and all that stuff. So it's nothing like that. So having said that, let's get straight to the point. This video, I really wanted to make it about, it probably won't be long. I don't want to make it too long. I know sometimes people don't want to watch super long videos, but I do want to keep these videos at least between 15 to 20 minutes, you know. I think that's pretty good. And if not, sometimes longer, especially if I was able to edit it. Anyhow, back to the point. I digress. Last video I spoke about the people that I kind of admire, not kind of, the people I admire, people you know, that I respect. You know, I don't put nobody above me unless it's God. In that sense, you know, I don't idolize anybody. So I want to make that kind of clear. I want to make it clear. And these people I respect. They have done a lot of homework, a lot of research. They're very, very, very intellectual. And when I mean intellectual, there's so many people that are smart. Just recently, one of my homies, you know, one of my boys, one of my investment club, stock club members, crew, family, sent me this interview with JP, and I don't know the other guy's name, but it was basically an argument about what's going on with the juice. And it's pretty obvious that JP chewed this guy up and swallowed him and just spit him out, right? I mean, I don't know too many people that can honestly handle you know, that type of a debate with somebody that's so intellectually inclined with the world, and was, you know, once he understands something, he's just very articulate and very poetic with his words. That is so intricate how he puts it all together and just paints a picture like none other, right? So my point is that these people that I have put research into as far as investment, and it wasn't research about them necessarily, the person, because they come off genuine people. So I'm also recommending two individuals that I believe are very highly moral, good people. And this is why I also like them. This is why I resonate with them, as well with the other ones that I mentioned in the previous video. But the two I'm going to mention today, one was on the first video, and then this video I'm going to say because I realize how am I missing out the best investor, in my opinion, in today's day and age, which is really, 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 to me, he is the best right now. As far as he's perfectly aligned with what I'm aligned with, and everything he says, to the way he thinks about the markets and the opportunities. He is pretty much on the same vibration as me. Okay, but I want to talk about the first one, which I mentioned in the first video, which was Nic Carter. Nic Carter is a person of God. He is a person that is very, very much in accordance with of what it means to be a good person, right? And how to touch people's lives. You can tell everything he says. If you listen to a lot of his interviews, he actually is if you see the growth from when he first started coming out onto the scene. Well, I don't know how long he's been around as far as YouTube or things like that, as far as him actually putting himself out there as a person as a thought leader, as somebody who has a great philosophy on life. I believe he studied philosophy as well. So he did study philosophy. And this man is he has good intentions. He has very good intentions. He's got great intentions. And if you see how he's grown from when I first started seeing him in 2020 to now, he's like, this dude is, I would call this guy Clark Kent, because when I first seen him, he looked like Clark Kent. He kind of talked like Clark Kent. He dressed like Clark Kent, and he was just, a superhero nerd. And I don't mean that in any disrespect at all, because I'm a nerd in some aspects of life, and I'm a nerd with researching and investment. So, but he just came off as a typical nerd that people pretty much stereotype, correct? So I was like, you see him now, he's like Superman. He took off his glasses, he got his goatee going on, he's living in Miami, just pretty much, in a good way. He's actually shown a lot of growth with confidence in himself, and I guess that comes with his investments that he's made in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's done a lot, so he's very fortunate. And he put in the work. He's been around for a lot longer than I have doing this. And the reason I want to introduce these people is because Nic Carter is the reason 100% the THE reason I finally decided to take the plunge into Bitcoin. Okay, he wasn't the one who introduced it to me. It was my boy Marcus. Marcus introduced it to me. He kept telling me about Bitcoin. You got to look into this, Randy. You got to look into this. The way you think, the way your mind operates. I know it's gonna be something you're gonna be interested. I just one time seen Bitcoin a whole long time ago. I mean, I'm talking about maybe 2017 or 2016. I guess when it hit its peak and it was trending, and I was like, okay, let me look at it. I seen this one documentary and it just didn't interest me whatsoever. It's amazing how far I've come, right? I wish I would have actually took the time to research more and actually dig in more, instead of just watch this one documentary that I think it was probably even done intentionally in that way to put you to sleep, so people are like, felt the same way I felt, like, this is so boring, right? And come 2020, I have all these thoughts about the world and what's going on, and things like Event 201, things that I was seeing before a lot of things unraveled, right, in 2020. That's why I was able to connect the dots so fast, so easily, and a lot of stuff just started clicking, right? Start clicking in my head of just what I got to do, to stay ahead and beat this inflation that's gonna come and hit us, and all this money printing that's going on that is gonna affect us. And yeah, I started investing, but I was investing in the stock market. I was not investing in crypto. And my boy Marcus kept telling me, you got to look into it but better, you know. So he was telling me when Bitcoin was at 6K, it might have been 5K. But basically it was, you know, I slipped. I definitely slipped, but you know, you got to learn at your pace. And I start digging and I start researching a lot about Bitcoin. And I really learned a lot, right? And I still did not want to invest in Bitcoin. There was something about it that still gave me doubts. And it was more of a, to me, I think, because so much scamming involved in the crypto sphere, the crypto space, that it really gave me, and I still kind of, I don't put too much of my net worth into crypto. I you know, I've always said, you know, a percentage, 5-10%, you know, 15%. And my mistakes have been not taking off the top, you know, like selling when I should have. And I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've pretty much had a good track record of the investments, of what to invest in, just not knowing when to sell and when to buy exact times. But now I'm getting better charting and doing all that as well. You know, I'm adding different tools to the tool belt, and charting has been one that I've been really getting a lot better at. So I understand there's mathematics to this equation in the world that has a way of tracking the minds and the psychology of people, in the sense that the stock market works as a whole individual, where all the minds are kind of scared or greedy, correct? So some people have become experts at this, and then there's AI software that are just 10 times ahead of you, and you can't compete with AI at this point. Aladdin, which is used by BlackRock, you can't compete with that. You can't. So what can you do? You try to buy low and you try to trim when it's high. You know, you don't want to sell your whole position if you're really a long-term investor and really want to stay invested in that company and then earn them future dividends. So, you know, you trim. You take some. Enjoy life. Don't take it too serious. There's seasons. There's winters. There's summers. There's springs and there's falls. Back to Bitcoin, right? So Nic Carter was the person, and I listened to other smart people as well, Vitalik Buterin, you know, all the people that they put in these documentaries, and they were all kind of nerdy too, kind of geeky, you know. Again, no disrespect, that's just the community, right? It has like this very preppy, you know, cyberpunkish, very involved and focused, and you know, they got that's the propaganda, right? They make nerds look, that they've given them that stereotype, they've given it that you know, stereotype of what a nerd is, or whatever you want to call it, you know, as far as the look and, you know, the glasses and the preppy look and all that stuff. So I'm trying to be too delicate these days, man. You know, I'm just trying to be too delicate, but I really am, because I'm not trying to offend anybody in this world ever, and I feel like at the end of the day, we're all individuals, and I just want to respect people. So, you know, Mr. Nic Carter is the reason why I invested in Bitcoin. I couldn't help myself after I heard this guy speak. He is so smart. He has really done his homework, and he is he's the type of person that you would want to run for president. If there's a person that you would want, you know, if you have a friend or one of your families, and you know, oh yeah, it will be, you know, like in my group of friends, it will be our friend Rossi. Everybody knows Rossi. Yeah, we'll vote Rossi in for president, because you know he's gonna do the right thing. You know he's got good morals, and you can never truly know somebody, but at least you have these auras about people, right? We all have these auras to us, and that's real, you know, the energy that somebody puts off, the frequencies they put off, and that's some real stuff, you know. So our friend Rossi, you know, I vote you for president. And basically, Nic Carter, I was like, this guy makes sense. This guy makes so much sense that I'm kind of kicking myself now that I don't even have a full Bitcoin, right? I'm still, you know, I got 6-figure portfolio. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I got things in motion. I'm rich. I'm abundant. I love my life in the sense of where I'm going financially. I know 100% that life is good. I don't worry about money. It means nothing, right? Especially when they can print it whenever they want. Well, I guess that's not money, right? So that's why we got to look at the alternative options such as Bitcoin. And Nic Carter will give you NIC_CARTER. Nic Carter, right? Not the band Nic Carter, but Nic Carter, crypto guy. You can put Nic Carter crypto in Google and it'll probably give you the right person, right? So Nic Carter, this guy knows what he's talking about. Now, half of you or most of you in general that'll see this video, I know some of my family and friends will see it, and you know, it's just you might not be investing in stuff, so it's not really for you. But if you are interested in investing and you want to know about Bitcoin, I would suggest listening to Nic Carter. Don't listen to me. You know, I'm not the expert here. I haven't claimed to be an expert. I'm an investor. And I'm on a path of higher consciousness. And I'm definitely nowhere near Nic Carter in terms of net worth at all. So listen to Nic Carter, okay? And he will be probably the best source you will receive as a Bitcoin investor. And he's not a Bitcoin maxi or whatever they call that. Now, I know a lot of people put him under that category, which he is not. So you will learn about a lot of things. And if you go over to his podcast, you could learn about cryptocurrencies and the markets within crypto. And they are such good sources that you're not going to be getting played, you know? What's the name of I think I have it here written down. On the Brink with Castle Island. That's the podcast. On the Brink with Castle Island. It's a pretty dope name. And Nic Carter's super funny. Let me tell you, if you want to laugh, you just want to be entertained, listen to Nic Carter. He's funny. The guy is funny. Listen to some Nic Carter. He's a G. He's a top G. Okay? The next person I'm going to introduce to you guys that is my favorite all-time investor at the moment, is aligned with the universe, is a good person, at least on a superficial level, right? From what I see. He is a good person, I believe. I could be wrong. Again, I doubt it. You can what's the phrase? Real recognize real, right? So real recognize real, and he's a real G. James is oh, I already spilled the beans, but the guy I'm talking about is James from Invest Answers. James Merlaki, I want to say is his full name, but James, if you go to YouTube and put James Invest Answers, and by the way, Nick was on that. I gave you his X account, okay, formerly known as Twitter. I know I don't know how long that's gonna last for people to say that, but you have to, because it's still new, right? People are not used to it. So James from his Invest Answers, man, when I started hearing this guy, he's saying that his top convictions are Tesla and Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, this guy, okay, well, he got the same kind of investments. And then he says he talks about Square. He likes Square. He's not too much of a big investor there, but then he starts talking about Solana, and that's it. I mean, if you want to go somewhere to get the most analytical, the most up to date, just pure facts, numbers, data. If you wanted a human AI, it would be James from Invest Answers. Because now you could go on AI and ask it, you know, give me the last quarter, the last earnings of Tesla's earnings, their last quarter, write me an outline and put it in bullet format and blah, 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 right? You could do these things, but you have to read it, right? And James, in this case, he does all that homework, but then he starts finding some type of metrics that you will not find anywhere on the entire internet. I promise you that. You're not going to find it because they're custom made by James and his team. I don't know if he has a team, but I'm pretty sure he probably at this point has a team, right? So James and his team from his Invest Answers, they have these metrics on Bitcoin and Solana that'll help you understand the value that they have, or the value, you know, how they say, you know, price to earnings ratios, and these metrics they use to determine, you know, if a stock is overvalued or undervalued or such and such, or, you know, all these metrics, right? Which is kind of bullshit anyways, because there's so many ESG, there's all these scores too now that they've involved. That's pretty much bullshit. And then the news that they put out there as well. How do you value Elon Musk? Let me ask you that. Is that on the balance sheet? Nah, it's not on the balance sheet. Yeah, it's not on the balance sheet. So how do you value Elon Musk? How do you value all those companies that he's created? How do you value every engineer that he's brought on to his team that are the best engineers in the world that are working for SpaceX and Tesla? How do you value that? Tell me, how do you quantify that? How do you put it in metrics? Tell me how you basically give me the metric of value of this company with all these intangibles that you can't value. Okay, I got you. So James from Invest Answer, he'll give you every metric, right? He's going to give you the data. He's going to give you the amount of users that are getting onto the Solana blockchain network. He's going to give you some numbers you have never heard of, but it gives you all these numbers that give you this whole one packaged value of the top cryptocurrencies in the entire crypto market, which is thousands. And who does he have on the top of the list? Is basically the one that still has the most potential, the most undervalued, and has the opportunity to run a lot. And I'll be honest, this Tesla right here, I sold a lot of Solana to I basically not sold a lot, I sold it all to buy his Tesla, right? And I'm slowly doing what's called DCA, which is basically averaging, dollar cost averaging weekly. I have it right now on Saturdays. I leave myself the next day, Sundays, which usually for some reason on Sundays it typically dips. I don't know why, but it has a tendency to dip. So I'll put, you know, I'll usually try to find a way to put some, not find a way. If it dips, I'm gonna add more, right? And Solana on James Invest Answers, with all his analytics and metrics and quantum crazy kung fu, just crazy amounts of gymnastics he's doing with his team over there to come up with these numbers. He's been right. He's been right? So I mean, like, the numbers are working, his data's working, and he's out there, he's growing. Actually, he's actually has a big following now. I don't know where he's at in terms of numbers, but you know, there's AI too, so you know, there's only so much an individual could do, but at least he's gonna steer you in the right direction as far as the value of these cryptocurrencies and what they represent, right? As far as a tool and their abilities to do multifunctional things in this world, not just be a coin to pump and dump. And instead have a lot of use cases, right? It's like DeFi and having all these other use cases, NFTs and you know, exchange of currencies and being able to do raise money and being able to have a sovereignty and having your own banking system and all these other things that, you know, there's a lot of coins out there that they just slap a dog on it, you know, right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody that invests in some of these other alternative coins, but Nic Carter is actually somebody that talks about Dogecoin. Go listen to his thoughts on it. Get back to me and tell me if you think it's a good investment, because I don't. Nic Carter certainly doesn't. It wasn't intended to be a good investment. It was intended to be a joke. So, you know, you got to be careful and you got to listen to the bright minds in this world. And I think part of the game, or not part of the game, yeah, part of the game, part of the simulation, part of the matrix, part of this whole universe is when the universe is talking to you and you're vibrating at a high level, you understand who to listen to. You know, I don't listen to dummies. Again, everybody has their own opinion. I talked about David Icke on the last video, how he has a certain opinion on Elon Musk. We all have opinions, right? I don't cast stones on nobody anyways. I might say this person's doing wrong, this politician's, you know, doing something that I feel is immoral. And you can also say that about Elon Musk if you want to. But he has his reasons for all the things that he's doing in this world. It's not like he hasn't explained them at least. At least he's been very vocal. He's been very transparent. He's been out there saying why he's building AI, what he's doing to fight AI, what he's seen as a child, all the things he learned, all the books he read, all the sci-fi he understood as a child, to have the mind to see that things are coming in a sense that he would rather be on the defense and deflect it and aikido that stuff, you know, like Andrew Tate would say. So he's just playing chess, right? In a sense, because his ultimate thing is just to explore and to see, you know, to colonize on Mars and explore the universe and the stars and continue looking for truth, because the guy's read almost every single book there is to read, and basically he's basically just looking. He's already explored this world. He's already done everything right. He's a billionaire. He's on the top. He doesn't have low level thinking. He has such high level thinking that he wants to go into space now and explore and see what's more out there, right? What's going on in this world? Like we let's explore the universe, right? Let's explore our minds, right? Just keep going and see how far we can get. So Invest Answers, James, he's aligned with these principles, with these principles of the law, right? And he's sharing all of this data. This man, what he's doing and the channel he has, I guarantee you, just 100%, he could be charging an arm. No, I don't want to say an arm and a leg. He could be charging whatever he wants for it. He could be charging whatever he wants, whatever, and people will pay it because the information is that well researched, that he has dug that deep, and the track record also speaks for itself. So I don't know how rich he is. Got no clue. Honestly, doesn't matter to me. You know, he's just out there giving his information. It's cool, and it's very knowledgeable. So that's what I care as far as, you know, the person. You know, he's a good guy. He's gonna steer you in the right direction. He also kind of talks a bit, not a lot, but he talks about the news, and he you know, he'll incorporate the news with what's going on in the crypto landscape and, you know, other things as well as Tesla. He'll point out the propaganda if needed to. He'll say what's, you know, what's smoke and what's real and what's, you know, what's FUD, you know, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And when you're spreading FUD, which is something that's very relevant with Tesla, I would say, than any other company, as well as Bitcoin. So why would those two be the top two that are getting the most attention and you know, getting the most bad news on? Well, I'll tell you why. It was a rhetorical question, huh? I'll tell you why. I'm gonna say the name right. Gates, the gatekeeper. Let's say the gatekeeper. Gates, the gatekeeper. He funded all kinds of money. I want to say about 500 million into the media to post articles that are nothing but opposing Tesla and having bearish views on Tesla. Just everything you can think of to undermine what Tesla is doing as a company, as a US company, right? And the reason he's doing this, or was doing this, is because he had a big short position, right? People know about The Big Short, that movie. I forgot who acts in it, Christian Bale, I want to say. That movie, The Big Short, right? Well, Mr. Gatekeeper had all kinds of money shorting Tesla, and people, journalists would actually ask him, "Are you shorting Tesla?" And he was like, "Well, you know, that's just personal sometimes." You know, there's other times that he actually admitted it, but you could tell how uncomfortable the man gets. The man gets so uncomfortable, and that's the problem with these lost souls. They get uncomfortable. Okay. And what I mean by that, because a lot of us get uncomfortable. I have my moments, right? Everybody has their moments. We're still human. We're all working on ourselves. So, but this man gets uncomfortable always when it has to do with something very sinister, or something that is cynical, or something that is just not right. So you tell me, you know, does Tesla get the fair shake? And let's throw politics aside, because I'm just talking about facts right now. You can go on the site that he funds, Snopes.com or Debunk.com. What they're gonna do is they're actually still gonna give you the truth, but they'll say is, "Oh, this information is it's semi-false, or 50% truthful, or somewhat a lie, or somewhat didn't happen," right? So it's just a bunch of, you know, if you even go into who the people that are working for these sites, it's do your research. You will laugh. So I don't even think you'll laugh. You'll probably get upset, because you'll start your mind will start opening up to the reality of this world and the matrix you're still in that you think you're out of, right? So when you understand these things, okay, you understand, and you don't get played by them, because you're already ahead. You're playing chess. Okay? I think that's a good time to end it. You know, we're going on 33. Yeah, we're right on 33. So we're right on 33. And it's actually good to see those kind of numbers. The synchronicity, I've been seeing them a lot. 33, 369, 555, 444, 1111. It's beautiful, right? Because you start seeing there's a design in the world. So I want to end it by saying that the two best investors that you can not invest in, you can, yeah, it's an investment because you're putting your time into, it's Nic Carter and James from Invest Answers. Dig into those two guys if you want to learn about crypto, because the crypto exchanges are very difficult at times to trust. So James from his Invest Answers will actually recommend. He has recommendations for crypto exchanges. I don't want to recommend nothing. I don't want to be affiliated with them. I am good. GOOD. I'm good. So with that said, invest in yourselves. I'm out.